So look, this is more of a general cycle that you would see across the world. So India, I would say, is just not an exception. But what happens is that every technology cycle, startups go to the peak of inflated expectations, and then they eventually come down. But from there, the real journey starts. So people who can get to the slope of evolution can last the longer duration. So that is the cliff, or from where they come down and they try to come out of the trough. That's where it's important for them to focus. And in that journey, what is important is to focus on the outcome-based approach. Outcome-based in the sense, what value are you really delivering to your customers or your end consumers? Either it be it's a B2B or B2C approach. If you're not focused on the right outcomes or the right value, that's where companies die in the trough after going to the peak. So that's important in getting to the longer journey in a startup.
So last year was a tough year for the startups. If but it was expected that after a sobering year like 2023, all startups the environment will change in 2024. But we have 8 months has gone and we have seen only 5 unicorns this year. Do you see the number will increase and where does the year end? How many unicorns will India have this year? Any expect?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball to gaze into future and tell you
Yeah,
the
yeah.
right number. But more important is to see that once a company has become a unicorn, how long has it sustained after that? Has it gone on to continue delivering value for its customers for another 5 to 10 years? Has it gone to the decacorn stage, and has it gone beyond that? In India, we get very fascinated by the unicorn status, and every entrepreneur's race could be to reach to that without thinking of the long term gain. So we need to look beyond being a unicorn. It's fine if we have had lesser number of unicorns this year till now. More important is that if we can get a higher percentage of those unicorns getting to decacorn and further beyond, that's where the real ecosystem can benefit from. So we as entrepreneurs, it's equally, I'm including myself into that pool. Our focus has to keep our eyesight on the longer race rather than just getting to a tag which the industry may have built.
But talking about the industry, if we talk the first 6 years of this, first 6 months of this year, so funding has been declined. According to the report, it has been declined by 1.8% comparing to the last year's first 6 months. What do you see the region in this decline? Does the investors have lost the faith in Indian startups?
No, actually, if it just declined by 1.8%, it's actually a very good number because last year was the peak. The hype around GenAI was there. ChatGPT has already taken the world to with a storm, and everyone was talking about GenAI being the next thing. You know, after metaverse, after blockchain, now GenAI has come, and every investor ran after a GenAI platform, neglecting other sectors. What's happening now is the reality sinking in. So if it has only dropped by 1.8%, it means so there was not too many wrong investments done last year, and it continues to hold that momentum coming into this year. So when you look at the right kind of investments, it's a very good year. We shouldn't just look at a relative basis because at an absolute level, GenAI is still growing. It's holding its fort. In fact, what internet and e-commerce has done over the last 2 decades, 2.5 decades, AI is going to do for the next 2 to 3 decades. AI is definitely here to stay. These small blips are not going to make any difference in the longer journey and the potential that AI brings to the fore.
So you mean you think that it is a natural decline that investors have feel after the investment in last year's generative AI and so buzz around that?
I think it's more of the now time for the platforms to deliver. Hype gets you the investment, but hype doesn't let you to deliver value for your customers. So this is the phase where the companies are building true solutions in the ecosystems. So it takes time. Nothing can be done overnight, right? For us to even train a system, it takes time. It takes millions of data points to go train an existing foundation model, fine tune it for your need. If you bring in human enforced relearning, that takes time. If I take the human assisted co-pilot approach, that takes time. What has happened is that people has realized that okay, hype can only get you the funding, but then the real journey starts from there on. More important is that these startups continue to grow. Not many startups have died down. Not the charm around AI hasn't gone away. People are still getting funded. There are newer ideas coming into ecosystem. There's so many new approaches that have been built just in 2024, which we never used to talk about prior to this year. You know, agentic AI being one of the key ones over there. I don't think agentic AI, from the academic or industry perspective, was given that vision before 2024. But this year, there have been many companies who have shown the value of what an agent can do sitting on top of a foundation model. So there's so much to still do in the AI domain. We're just scratching the surface. We haven't really seen the value yet. So I'm really not worried being a entrepreneur in this space. I see so much to be done that there's a longer part to traverse here.
You detailed about AI. If I ask, what have been your experience with AI regarding your company?
Oh, we have had a very interesting journey at Avatar. So while you would see the more hype around the generative part of the AI, we have been focused more on the stronger side of AI. And there's this difference between narrow and weak AI, which is more predictive or non-deterministic in a way, vis-a-vis a stronger side of AI, which is more deterministic without hallucination, uh, giving you real results. So at Avatar, our focus has been to build a stronger AI platform for the longer run, and there are two important aspects which comes in over there. One is the common sense grounding. So what is AI practically? AI, as we say, is the equivalent to human brain. Now if it has to think like a human, it needs to start reasoning like a human being, and common sense is not so common out there. Even humans mostly fail at that. So the traditional or the narrow or the weak AI, if you were to say, usually fails at common sense reasoning. That's where our focus at Avatar has been. How can we bring that common sense AI into the picture and help build a stronger platform? And the second one is to bring AI computing to the edge. Now, what happens is that you have all these fancy computes on the cloud, the large scale chips that can help you draw inferences to train your model and all of that. But as we see it after, that's really not how a scale would happen in AI. Internet grew only after internet came in our hands on a daily basis. It came to our palms through these smartphone devices. AI has to come to the end user within their control in their hands. So that's where AI computing has to get to the edge, which is user's device. And to build that, our focus has been to create quantized versions of LLMs, low and efficient models, which can run on an user device as well. And that's where the user one will have control over what the data is being used, where is it stored, how is it being utilized from there on. And second, the cost will come down drastically. You cannot just keep scaling, keep pumping in money in an industry and think it will grow for long term. You know, adding to your previous question as well, if you can make this cheap and efficient, it will become a part of your daily life. So this edge computing of AI as well as the common sense grounding has been our key learnings in the AI domain.
Interesting. So, how has been the experience? How has been the performance of your company? If we talk about the last quarter and broadly in the last fiscal year, financial year.
It, I would say the last quarter, starting with that, we have built so many solutions. Like what has happened with AI evolving at the pace, there's so many enablers out there. Enablers in terms of pre-trained foundation models, enablers in terms of AI as a service on the cloud. You can, our production or like product development cycle has speeded up significantly. We have released lot more solutions on our platform, which the creator, which is the SDK platform, which we have just in last quarter vis-a-vis the entire previous year. But when I again take a further step back and look at the previous year vis-a-vis our first 8 years of journey, I would say that has been the most significant part of it, because we have been true to core AI since day one, true to core 3D from day one, but we may have been slightly early to the market. But since beginning of 2023, we have seen that adoption in this space, and where we can now truly build value out of our platform. So last 1 year has been way better than the previous 8 years, and just the last quarter in itself has been better than the last 12 months. So that's the upward trajectory that we are seeing right now, and just building up for that.
One last question: what is your future growth plan, and where do you see your company after 2 or 3 years?
Well, the common sense grounding piece, which I was referring to earlier, we want to build a system which can reason like humans. That's the impact that we want to bring to the equation. We don't think in terms of valuations or what kind of numbers we get to, because it's more about the longer term journey. If we can get the right impact, other things will follow. So what's missing to build a really strong AI platform today is that thinking like human, acting like human, delivering like human. If we have to really reinforce what human could do, like reinforce the people activity with the help of AI. So that is the piece that we are focused on, and that's the value that we want to bring in terms of the impact.